Let's be real. Let's be 110% real with each other. I am too salty and too biased about this topic to give proper analysis. But you know what? I'm here, and no amount of whining is gonna change what's happened. No amount of complaining is gonna rectify this in my mind. So let's just do this, mostly for me. This is for me, to grow as a person and hopefully move on. Just like the Rams did. Part of me feels like I wouldn't be as upset about this as I am if I didn't feel personally misrepresented about this topic. Like, it really got to me, because on a national level, I feel like my voice and the voice of what I feel is many others hasn't been heard because it's irrelevant now. And one of my biggest concerns, and I feel like this is what makes me so, angry about it, is the fact that there's the narrative going around that St. Louis didn't support the team. The team had no real fan base of its own, and that's why they're like, we can move this team, and minimal people would really care. There'd be no damages from it. Yet, here I am, feeling rather damaged. Anytime there's media coverage about St. Louis, which is already being forgotten, which makes sense. You got to keep with the times, and I guess we're behind them. But anytime there was coverage about them, the narrative was pretty much that, St. Louis fans didn't care about the team because, well, let's be honest, the Rams haven't been picked to win the Super Bowl in 10 years, okay? Everyone was assuming that the team was not being supported because the fans didn't want to come out if there weren't, first ballot Hall of Famers on there anymore. And I get that. I get how that could be the general consensus idea. But there's a reason for that, and I feel like it was very intentional. And to me, the average fan who's been paying attention to this, that starts and ends with Stan Kroenke. And it's really hard to like the guy anymore. Hey, what do you know? Just like the team. But actually, let's talk about Kroenke, because I blame him for dwindling fan support. Yeah, I blame him for the decisions of thousands of people. And let me explain. So let's think about it this way. You are an owner of a business, and your brand is becoming less popular with consumers. Now, let's translate this back to football. What makes a brand more popular? What makes a team more popular? Winning. So if you're not winning, what do you do to supplement that? Well, let's look at some other losing franchises that still have a large fan support group. And when I think losers with fans, I'm thinking Cleveland Browns. Being originally from Ohio, I'm a little bit biased, actually a lot biased, but that's beside the point. I think my points are still sort of valid here. Anyway, I'm not saying you have to do everything the Browns do because, look, there's market research, and you understand that if we do this, the fans probably won't appreciate it the way we would like, and that's not financially viable. So whatever, we're going to skip those ideas. But my point is that you try something. You try and create buzz about your team because you can't create it on the field. You gotta do something off the field. And that's up to you. This is your job, right? This is your business, right? It benefits you to make people care about your business. So what do? You reach out to them. And Stan Kroenke never did that. And I have a theory why. Well, it's more than a theory. It's what he did. But let's talk about Stan Kroenke for a minute. And I'm not going to talk about his hair or whatever. That's irrelevant. That's stupid. That's baseless. And what he looks like just doesn't matter. The thing is, I didn't know what he looked like for the longest time. The man was a ghost for 5 years. We didn't see him at all. This franchise has been faceless and tasteless for the past presidential term, really, and there's been nothing exciting about it. So if you're the owner, I feel like it's sort of your responsibility to be out there or at least assign someone to be out there and feel accessible to the people that are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to you every year. Because let's be real, it's hard to support losing football for about 4 years and then average football for another 4 years, it's sort of hard to create buzz around that team, okay? And when you have an owner that's as lukewarm about the team and about the city as the fans are, then of course you're not going to sell tickets. Here's a sobering thought. I went to the Browns-Rams game in October 25th, 2015. That was the last Rams game I will ever attend. I'm originally from Ohio, and Christian Kirksey, Browns inside linebacker, went to my high school because I've lived in St. Louis since 2005. I know, I just root for losing football teams. It's not a great time. So this game was a little bit hard for me to watch, especially when the Browns didn't even bother to score a touchdown, but whatever. Anyway, as the Browns got on the bus after a loss, they stayed after a good half hour, maybe 40 minutes, just signing autographs from fans, saying hi to people that came out to support them, like 500 miles from where they play. And when I say the team, I really mean the organization. General manager Ray Farmer was there. First round pick Danny Shelton. Christian Kirksey was back in his hometown, so you know he was out there signing autographs. I got autographs from Craig Robertson. My mom kissed Danny Shelton on his upper lip. Don't drop assault charges for that, Danny, please. And that's not all. The owner of the team, Jimmy Haslam, walked through the fans and shook a bunch of hands, said, "Oh yeah, we're great. It's great to have you all coming out and support us so far on the road, blah, blah, blah." It's like, yeah, we know we can go anywhere and have a lot of fan support. Like, that's great. I take road trips from Cleveland to St. Louis during the summer to see family. And whenever we're on the road, we always stop at Flying J gas stations. So I got to tell Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Flying J gas stations, that, hey dude, your bathrooms are an oasis. I appreciate the effort you put in all of your bathrooms, because there's a plaque on the wall that says, we find the importance of cleanliness in our bathroom facilities to be important. I get to tell Jimmy Haslam that to his face at a visiting game as he's walking to the team bus, and I had on a Rams jersey. Okay, this is a lot. This is the first Browns game I've been to outside of Cleveland. And to be that close to not just the players, not just the decision makers on the team, but to the owner of the franchise, who took the time to meet some of the fans and opposing team fans? I don't know, man. Jimmy was steeped in his Flying J scandal, and I know how tall he is, and I know that he smelled sort of like hot dogs on October 25th, 2015. Okay? There's a little bit more effort being done to make connections with the people you're getting money from. That's all I'm saying. And this is what I mean. Effort. It's all about effort. If you show to your fan base, or you communicate to them, at least in words, that, hey, we're trying to turn this thing around. We have standards that we set for this organization, and there's a certain level of play we expect. There's a certain level of decision making we expect. We expect excellence at this organization, and we want you, the St. Louis citizens, to feel that. How do you communicate this message? By reaching out to fans. Do something, anything for season ticket holders. I don't know, make a statement every year saying, I don't know, thank you. We didn't make the playoffs this year, but you guys came out and were loud, and we had a home field advantage. It didn't have to pipe in crowd noise. Falcons. Fan Appreciation Day, which is the last home game of the season every year for the Rams, at least in St. Louis, should be a little bit more than a 40% sale in the gift shop, okay? You should do something, anything to help the community. Make an effort, or at least pretend to. Come on now. Look, I'm no professional at this, okay? I don't know everything that happened, but I feel like there would be something, anything done to make fans of St. Louis football feel a little bit more comfortable with supporting 7-8-1, 7-9, 6-10, 7-9. Those sort of milquetoast records are not going to cut it anywhere else. All right, we've been patient. We were waiting for this team to take that next step, and we felt like it was possible. And I feel like Stan Kroenke individually knew in his mind from the moment he bought the team in 2010, well, claimed full ownership of the team in 2010, that he did not care about the St. Louis region or working things out or making things work where he was currently located. And that's why I can't still support this team. And no amount of whining and complaining is going to change the fact that they're gone. But I just want people to know that this was a two-way street. It was an inside job, man. Because when the city reached out, it reached out at nothing.